Hello, welcome to this super exciting season of Ndine Thaza. And finally, this season, we are back in the studio with a fresh panel of expert judges and of course, myself, the juggernaut. It's an exciting season because in these unprecedented times of COVID-19, what's more relevant than going healthy? But in this particular case, we are going green with organic farmers. A lineup of 10 organic farmers competing for the ultimate prize of $1,000 cash. This is the Primetime Entrepreneurship TV reality game show in Zimbabwe, and we're going to dive straight into meeting the entrepreneurs, checking out their businesses. So much more lined up for the season, so much more lined up for this particular episode as the judges will expatiate and give their verdicts on the entrepreneur. And also another exciting new feature of this season, you are also participating in a competition courtesy of our sponsors, and more about that information coming later in the episode. But without wasting much more time, let us now meet our very first entrepreneur of the season. Let's check out their story, let's hear what they have to say, and of course, we'll appreciate their journey as we go. Check out this entrepreneur, Newman Jabangwe.
My name is Newman Jabangwe. I'm 25 years of age. I was born in Kwekwe and I grew up in Kwekwe. Then I came here in Harare, going to school at Gwebi College. I'm a farmer, a full-time farmer. I'm a very, very, very shy guy. Yeah, I love football. Yeah, and I'm an athlete. I get into organic farming because of the prices of their products. If you can grow something like a tomato and sell it at $1.50 at $2 per kilo, I then saw that it's very profitable. I do carrots all year round, from January up to December. My business is just to supply the upmarket, like Borodale, Avondale, and Borodo Brook. Those are the places that I supply my stuff. Honestly, COVID-19 was a big blow to us because of one, transport, two, customers were very few. So it was a huge blow for us. It affects a lot. Ndine Thaza, I expect my name to grow, plus to our customer to know that my organic horticultural products, they are there and they're at an affordable prices, Aripo. So I just expect to get more customers, and our customers will be very happy with our products.
There you have it, 25-year-old Newman Jabangwe, born in Kwekwe, but grew up in Harare. It doesn't matter where you start, as long as you just start. An exciting panel of judges, as I have mentioned, and now would like to get to chat up one of the judges just a bit. In a previous episode, you noticed and you met the judges, but now want to get a bit personal. Judge Titi, I want to bring this one to you. Just a bit about yourself. I learned from your introduction in the previous episode that you studied in America. So America, Africa, worlds apart, but want to zero into food and perhaps agriculture. Before we go into that, what was a typical day of a student in varsity?
I went to America for my graduate school, so I went to do my master's and PhD. And a typical day was getting up and going into the lab. And you spent the bulk of the time in the lab. In the initial year, 2 years, you'll be doing lab work and coursework.
Okay.
So most of the time, you'll be basically in the lab from, say, 8 in the morning all the way up to 10 p.m. or
Wow.
up to midnight, and then you catch the bus and go back to
Go
your...
back. Wow. Well, illustrated. Typical of a scientist. I'm imagining the lab coats, the white lab coats, and
Indeed, yes.
a lot of people talk about food and a bit of the culture shock when they relocate to a different continent. And in line, the essence of season 7 is organic farming and so on and so forth. What was your experience with food? How did you find the food? What are the differences perhaps between home and being in America? What was it like?
Oh, obviously it was more difficult to get things like maize meal, but I had the privilege of being hosted by an American family, so I had a host American family there, and I actually enjoyed the meals that I would be served or would be served in the home. It was my first experience to actually eat a meal that composed of maize, chibage,
Yes.
sweet corn, a salad, and chicken.
As in maize substituting like Thaza, perhaps, in our setup. Like maize and meat and veggies.
Indeed, yes. So maize will be a cup of maize,
Okay.
a cup of sweet corn will be the starch component, salad and chicken.
Wow.
And in some occasions, we would have sweet potato as the starch component, maybe with some bit of nuts on them. Sweet potato, salad and chicken. So I found that quite interesting, that I would be served sweet potato as the main starch component at dinner.
Oh, for me, wow.
Yes.
I mean, in Zimbabwe, that would be breakfast, I guess, for tea. But yeah, thank you very much. There you have it from Judge Titi, her experience in America and keeping the essence of this season, food, organic farming. It's all about food. It's all about going green. It's all about fighting the pandemic, COVID-19. There's so much more action-packed for this episode, so much more action-packed for the rest of the season. Don't go anywhere, and remember to always stay tuned to Ndine Thaza on all our social media platforms. That is Ndine Thaza for our Facebook, our YouTube, our Instagram, and don't get to miss any of the action. Even our judges, they were profiled on our social media platforms. There's a competition for you, the viewer, and a winner courtesy for our sponsor. We'll mention all that stuff later in the episode, but don't go anywhere, don't miss any of the action, and after the break, we'll hear from the judges, we'll hear your prize, and see you after the break. Welcome back to Ndine Thaza, the only entrepreneurial TV reality game show in Zimbabwe, with your host, the Juggernaut. And as you can see, we are going green, and I'm dressed like a farmer. A very exciting season, a very exciting episode, the first episode in studio with the judges. As you know, in business, it's always good to have a sense of direction. And on Ndine Thaza, we always have a business compass. Now, this season is about organic farming. And organic farming is an art, is a science, and it has its principles. There are 4 principles of organic farming. We've got health, care, fairness, and ecology. So we are going to get the privilege of experiencing and learning more about each one of them as the episodes progress. And today I am super excited because we are starting with arguably one of the most relevant in this unprecedented times of COVID-19, health. And we've got an expert on the panel who can expatiate a bit on the health component of organic farming. I want to bring it to you, Judge Missy, to appreciate a bit about that element or that principle of health pertaining to organic farming. Could you explain to us the health principle of organic farming?
Indeed, the principle of health is one of the principles that underpins organic agriculture. It is about the production system being healthy to the producer, not being detrimental to the producer, because with the other production system, when you're using maybe say chemicals, pesticides, that might harm the health of the producer. So we're also looking at the health of the consumer. When the consumer consumes that product, how is it going to impact on the health? And this is maybe to do with the nutrient levels that are found within the organic produce, and also the pesticide residues that are often found within a product. And also, not forgetting the health of the soil itself. Is it being improved when you're growing organic? In essence, it has to get some improvement so that the soil becomes healthy for perpetuity, so that as producers, they continue to be using that medium of production, the soil. And of course, the health of the environment, the water bodies, are then remaining healthy as you are producing. So in a nutshell, that is the principle of health as far as organic agriculture is concerned.
Wow, there you have it. To all those lay people like the juggernaut who probably had no idea about organic farming besides the word itself. I mean, we've heard a lot about it globally, perhaps in the past decade or just over a decade, because of the demand for the world to go green. But courtesy to Ndine Thaza, now you can get a better appreciation of the whole concept of going organic and becoming a part of it. We'd like to go back now to the entrepreneur to see and to hear from them how they articulate their business and answer the questions that they'll be competing on for the ultimate prize this season, which is to do with organic farming. Let us now hear from Newman himself, expatiating and explaining on and responding to the questions being asked.
Things that makes me an organic farmer is, one, the prices of our product. Two, I then think that we have to serve the soil as much as the animals and plants. For the love that I have for those three, that's what makes me think of those lines. If I can do carrots using organic fertilizers, I don't destroy the soil, I don't harm the soil. So I'm just trying to keep our land or our soils good and very fertile. Kufama tine nguruve, zvakare tine mombe. So tinouse manure atinawo, usually akawanda acho anenge ari mombe. Then watinotora tinoisa tinofeeda kumacarrots edu. Saka isusu we mainly we focus on horticulture. Saka zvinhu zvese zvatinazvo pafarm pedu tinoisa manure kana pane huku tinoisa huku, kana pane like izvo currently we have enguruve nemombe. Saka akawanda acho tinoisa emombe. Our strategies is we deal with 4 P's: place, price, product, and promotions. So on the price side, our prices are, since we are starting, my prices are actually passing, but what I like about my organic product is my organic edu aadzike price because zvinhu zvawandisa pamarket or zvaita shoma. Our price will very constant, but since we are starting, tiri kutangira hedu tiri pakati nepakati, hatisi kukwidza price or kunyasa tiri pakati nepakati. Then on the product side, our product is very we are very sure that our product is it's organic 100%. So people, vanhu vakawanda, our customers vari kumafarira. Ma promotions atinawo, we promote tingati ma prizes kuti munhu akatenga, if you get one, if you buy one, you get another one, since we are starting. Then tinowanzoita ma promotions edu pama Facebook and WhatsApp, Twitter and Instagram. That's how we promote. our product. Pama places, atinotiyo ma strategic places edu atino wanzo hama on. Atino get ma targeted places. Tino target ma uptown markets. Twagaita sana Borodale, Avondale, Westgate, and okune demand yakawanda. So my products edu, that's my places that I know in my uptowns. But since are a bit expensive, because they will be looking at something like $2.20 to $2. Yet asiri my organic, they are going at $20, $30.
There you have it, the young man born in Kwekwe and grew up and practicing his farming in Harare. He has spoken, but we still want to hear what the judges think, what they feel, do they like, do they dislike, what can they impart in this young man. And remember, as always, never to miss out any of the action, even of previous seasons of Ndine Thaza on our social media platforms. Ndine Thaza or platforms. And also, if you would like to participate as a contestant for the ultimate prize of $1,000, again, you go onto our social media platforms, you inbox us, you send an email, and the rest are details. So don't go anywhere, in the comfort of your home, in the comfort of your car, your office, on your device. Stay tuned, because after the break, we meet the panel of experts and the verdict, of course, of this entrepreneur. See you after the break. Welcome back. We've just come back from the break, and as just tuned in the comfort of your home, your office, wherever it is, this is the Primetime Entrepreneurship TV reality game show in Zimbabwe, Ndine Thaza. This, for me, is the most exciting segment of the show, where we engage our judges, a fresh panel of judges that we've never had on the show. And in line with the organic farming, these are the experts that I'm about to engage in the next few moments. Judges, how did you find this young 25-year-old farmer? What do you think about Newman?
I think organic farming is becoming a key component, in terms of lifestyle. So Newman is on the positive direction in terms of linking with the global trends.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but however, there are issues that I feel we should have heard more from him. Unfortunately, I gave him 25.
25
because,
out of 100 there.
Because I wanted to hear more. To say, because what he mentioned, to me, the key issue was profitability. I then wanted to hear more. Why? Because the elements of organic farming, they are diverse. To me also, the issue of how his enterprise is integrated.
Yes.
To me, I just heard he takes manure from different animals and then put it in his produce. Yes. And that was that. So to me, again, it's a 25. This one was out of 50.
Yes.
I gave him a 30.
30 out of 50, so you were much more impressed.
Yes, I was much more, because at least he had that acumen of dividing, the main principles of marketing.
Well, I must say I'm actually quite impressed with Newman, Jabangwe, for he has delved into an area that people are so much afraid of, especially when you look at his background. He has been to Gwebi.
Yes.
And the syllabus there mostly is on conventional agriculture. So much of it, I must say,
so much of his training is actually
in conventional. Yes. So he is actually thinking outside the box and acting outside the box. So I must actually congratulate him on that. On the first one, he seems not to really know what really makes him an organic farmer. Yes. So I've just given him 30%, about
30 out of 100.
30 out of 100.
A bit more generous.
A bit more generous, because he talked a little bit about
you feel the so much more.
There's quite a lot that he could. The integration, he hasn't really grasped about the integration. I've seen he's got some rabbits. He could have actually talked about the rabbits, where he would be taking the offshoots from the carrots and feeding them to the rabbits.
And what about his marketing? Look.
So that one I've given. Okay, so that one I've given him 40. And on the marketing, he was contradicting himself on the prices, because he said their prices are quite low, and then at the end of it all, he was talking about the prices being high as compared to the conventional.
Okay.
So I gave him a 25 out of 50.
Out of 50, that is half.
He's definitely on the right path,
Okay.
and I give him a huge mark for that. He talked about how he knew. He knows what he's supposed to say, but it was not quite coming out, because he says, I love the soil, I love the plants. He then didn't tell us what he means by loving the soil, loving the plants. But of course, being in the organic sector or understanding organic farming, I understand what he means by I love the soil, I love the plants.
All right.
But he did not articulate himself. Yes.
All right. And out of 100 there?
Out of 100, I gave him a 50. His integration, once again, I noticed that he was answering the question, but answering it in his own way. He talked about his pigs, cattle. He says if he has chickens. So he talked about the different animals that he has over the course of time during his farming operations. The score for him is a 50.
50. All right.
He talked about the 4 P's: the place, the price, the product, the promotion. He gave his marketing strategy. He did say he goes to the upmarket places.
Yes.
And his mark there is I gave him a 40.
40.
He also talked
Out of
about
50 there.
social.
They-
Using social media.
We asked the entrepreneur what inspired them to start. So I'm just going to run through the judges. Out of 50, how much inspired were you perhaps with what inspired them? Maybe starting with Judge Leslie.
Out of 50, I would give him 25.
I saw that his inspiration was just on the dollar.
On the dollar.
And yet there are other issues around. He could have talked about more about even the soil that he said he loves, the plants that he said he loved. But I was disappointed that he was just on the dollar. So I gave him 25.
25 out of 50, and the final judge, out of 50.
I was disappointed because he just focused on the bottom line, money. I gave him a 50.
They say men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So there must be a total of the score here, and we can definitely see that in a moment on the scoreboard. There you have it. 380 out of 900. Well, it takes him right to the top, and he is in the lead of the log. But there's so much more action, as we have 9 more entrepreneurs to compete for the top spot. Save our WhatsApp number and follow our statuses. On the status, we will have the question for the prize, and you get an opportunity to win a prize. Please do follow on our WhatsApp for all the details on our social media, and of course on this platform, Ndine Thaza, showing on television. From this amazing panel of judges, from the amazing crew behind the scenes, a lot of people who put so much support into Ndine Thaza, and of course from myself, the juggernaut, I'm out.
So what we do is that we've got a model site here, it's number 9 Bembenene Road, whereby there are aspects of organic farming that can be done on a bigger scale, but here is just a demo site.